him from the yard.
This is Don the Diecast Pirate. Today, I have for you a Redline restoration of a custom T-Bird. And this is the Hong Kong variety. Alright. So actually, this is a car that I bought a couple years ago when I first started getting back into diecast. And after I discovered what the Sweet 16 were, and I was set out to get a couple of each US and a couple of each Hong Kong, and I really fell in love with these Hong Kong custom T-Birds, and this is one that you can tell is heavily kid painted. Let's get it up on the turntable and take a look at it. So whoever the kid was that owned this car really loved it, and I'm betting that underneath this kid paint, there's something going on with the paint. It was scraped or something, I'm sure. And I've been trying to look underneath and tell what color it is, and I can't tell for sure. So it looks like it may have been pink, it may have been magenta, or it might possibly have been red, but we'll have to get it apart to see what it was. So, I mean, the hood is intact. The glass is there. It's kind of scuffed up. We might try to polish that out. If not, I do have another one, but I think we might be able to polish that up and see it and bring it back to life. And you may be wondering, well, Don, I thought this was a Subscriber's Choice Week, and it is. And I decided that what I want to do to the truck is going to take too long to get it done this week. Last week, doing 2 builds, I was up till 2 a.m. every night, and honestly, Sunday's my only day off. I work 60 plus hours a week, and I didn't do anything with cars on Sunday. I needed a day to recover and recuperate and just chill out and relax, and so that's what I did. Okay, so I just got it drilled. I've not actually taken it apart yet. I did pull the base off just to take a look, and I'm still undecided on the color. But let's see what we have here. So I'm just going to lay this down just like this and let you guys ponder that. And so the base, they really clean inside. And, you know, they put the gold on the bumpers and everything. We'll get that all cleaned up. Put that through the ultrasonic cleaner. And then we have the interior. And I mean, some tweezers here. There we go. So we got the white interior with the original Hong Kong steering wheel. Looks like they splattered some paint on the interior, so we'll throw that in the ultrasonic cleaner as well. And then we have the glass. And if I can get this down and pull it out. So overall, not too bad. And I said I might try to polish this one up. If not, then we'll use a replacement. But here's the dashboard. And I think the dash is really the best indicator of what the color was. And I still can't tell. I'm still having a hard time trying to determine what that color is. You know what? I think it was a hot pink. Honestly, I think this was a pink car. So, you know what? Why don't we just throw everything in the ultrasonic cleaner and see if we can tell any more about what's going on with this. Well, let's see what we get here. First, here's the interior. And it really cleaned everything off of there, so all we gotta do is take that to the sink and scrub it. Let's see what part we get next. Oh, let's see. I think we'll wait on the body. Get this base and glass out of here. Okay. So it'll come off of there. Let me grab another paper towel here. I don't want to scrub it with a toothbrush because it'll splatter all over. I may have to take a wire brush to this and get this paint off because it doesn't seem like it all wants to come off before we get it into the lime away water and get that ready to polish. So this glass, I said there are some scratches on those. I know those will buff out. Oh yeah, okay, that's the spot that concerned me. I didn't know if it was like some kind of adhesive or something on there. It must have just been paint residue, and that came right off. And then the back again is scratched, and we should be able to just polish that right up. I was at Hobby Lobby the other day, and I picked up some of these, so we'll see if we can use these sanding pads on it and get it buffed out. Now, for the moment of truth, because I could see when I was looking in here, what color the car originally was. Now that we can see more of it, I believe it was magenta. Whatever this gold paint was, like that didn't want to come off. All the other paint came off, but you can tell this body, they scraped it. They painted it, scraped it, painted it again. Not sure what that gold paint is. I'll probably, now that we discovered what the original color was, it's not going to go back to that. I'm really thinking that I want to paint this pink, but what I'll probably do is just go ahead and, now that I'm seeing how hard it is to get this gold paint off, probably just go ahead and pull these axles out of here and put it in the Awesome Sauce aircraft paint stripper. We can get these out of here very carefully. Hopefully that goes in a lot easier than it came out, but I think that got bent a little doing that. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we'll get these cleaned up, we'll get this polished, and get these stripped. Alright. Just back from cleanup in the kitchen. The interior, absolutely perfect. Couldn't ask for better. The glass, I did take that 1200 grit pad and sanded it some. There's a high spot on the bottom ridge. Some scratches in there. I'm going to try putting it in the foreshine and see how it comes out. Go from there. Here's the base. That awesome sauce took the paint off easily, and then I put it in the the lime away water, and yeah, so that's going to polish up very nicely. And I also stripped all the paint off with the Aircraft paint stripper, and what I call the awesome sauce. And you know, so it has the scuffs and stuff in the metal. And what I did then is, after I've got the base out of the lime away water, I went ahead and put the body in there too, to get rid of the tarnishing that was on it. So we're going to polish that up as well with Flitz. So Flitz is awesome. It's great for doing this type of stuff, and if you don't have some, you should get some. Alright, so first glance, it does look pretty good. There's some toning on the sides, which wouldn't be a major issue. But what really gets me is the scratches on the back of it were just too deep to buff out. And I mean, I could start zinc plating. Just don't have time for that this week, so I think what we're going to do is get this cleaned up, and then we'll put the base coat on before the Spectraplane paint. And I think I want to go with the Bright Vision Copper again, but this time I'm going to reduce it 1:1 and see if it comes out the way I hope it's going to, because on, here we go, our TNT bird, it was really dark. So I'm trying to see if I can get more of a copper color along the lines of this US Beatnik Bandit or this Hong Kong Custom Barracuda. So I don't know. I mean, this car, the scratches on the glass and everything, but it has character, right? I wouldn't mind making a clone of this with one of my other ones and keeping this one just the way it is, just because of the character. So I really love these, but I want to be able to restore this to. And honestly, on this one, if the glass wasn't cracked like that, I wouldn't be going for it. But I'm trying to get the copper down before I do this restoration, because if the paint doesn't match, I may not do. I mean, it's got chipped on the fender, right? So I mean, somewhat deserves a restoration, but mainly because the glass is cracked, and if you're going to drill it apart to change the glass, you might as well go all the way, right? So that's why. Anyway, let me get this cleaned up, and dried, and we'll come back and start laying some paint on this. Alright, so this is what it looks like after I cleaned it up, degreased it. I mean, parts of it are super shiny. Like I said, those scuffs on the back and on the roof isn't really going to matter, but you know, the toning on the sides and whatnot, like I said, in the future I am going to start doing some zinc plating and polishing. I don't have as much time to put into this as I would like, so we're going to spray this one with the base coat. Alright, so while that base coat's drying in the air fryer, let's go ahead and get to work on this base, get the axles back in, and so on. I just noticed there's a big gouge in this front bumper. That's where it is. I just took my Leatherman and just kind of straightened the bumper out a little bit. That's all I'm going to do with that. Go ahead and get these tires on, the deep dish mediums from Bright Vision Wheels. Alright, there we go. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking here, see what's anything out of place. Now it looks like this rear axle is not quite where I need it to be. Okay, now it is. That's better. Alright, now what do we do here? We got the red Sharpie for the tail light, and again the flat black Tamiya for the grill. The air fryer just stopped, but we'll let that sit a few minutes and cool down before I paint it anyway. There's that tail light, if you can see it. Alright, I'm going to paint the grill off camera. You saw me do that on the last one. And then we'll be back to throw some color on the body. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking that's looking about as good as it's gonna get. And there we go. Learned about this stuff from Paul at Fat Guy Productions, in case you're wondering. Most of you probably already know that because you watch him too. Or you've seen his channel. Probably should have done this before I put the tires on. But that's okay. Alright. This is I guess they use this stuff to protect like jewelry and rings and stuff from tarnishing. And this will keep the base on these Redlines from getting tarnished over time. It'll keep them shiny. So we'll just put it on there and rub it in. Try not to get it on that tail light there. I don't know if this stuff would take that marker off, but I don't want to take any chances. So there we go. I think that's looking pretty good. Couldn't ask for better on this base. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so this time I got the Bright Vision copper paint and I used reducer 1:1 and then I added the hardener in. So mix this all up and then we're going to spray some light coats on here and see what we get. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present to you Hong Kong Custom T-Bird in copper. Man, this car looks good. Let's get it up on the turntable and take a look at it. So, whoever the kid was that owned this car really loved it, and I'm betting that underneath this kid paint there's something going on with the paint. It was scraped or something, I'm sure. And I've been trying to look underneath and tell what color it is, and I can't tell for sure. So it looks like it may have been pink, it may have been magenta, or it might possibly have been red, but we'll have to get it apart to see what it was. Alright, so we got it in that copper Spectral Flame paint from Bright Vision. They're natural flame paints, and I am really excited about this color. You know, the first time I used it, I didn't reduce it. It came out thick. I had to up the air pressures. I thought maybe the paint wouldn't come out. I did get it. Fortunately, I had reached the end of the bottle of hardener and just added in extra hardener, so it did harden. But this time I reduced it, added just the right amount of hardener. It sprayed out beautifully. I'm just really excited about this. We did polish the glass the best I can and dipped it in the floor shine, and I think it came out amazing for what it was. The car did have some scratches, we found out after I stripped it down, and we put the base coat on it before the paint taped off and put the vinyl top on it. Those beautiful deep dish Redline wheels from Bright Vision as well. So put the base and the lime away in water, and also soaked the body as well to get rid of some of the tarnish, and then we polished it up the best we could. Like I said, we put the base coat on it, then the Spectra Flame paint. I did lay out 3 coats, which is my normal, and we'll get some comparisons here in just a second. So let me just raise the light level here. I think we can be done with this turntable. Okay, so let me raise this camera up too. Back it off a little bit. So here's the one we just did. This is the custom T-Bird. Here is the TNT Bird that we did last week. And this is the same paint out of the same bottle. This is not reduced. This is reduced. So this came out way too dark, sprayed on too thick. I had to up the air pressures. I was afraid it wouldn't come out. That is a side-by-side comparison. You see the Spoilers Edition has the air dam or the chin spoiler underneath. It has the wing on the back. The custom T-Bird doesn't, of course. TNT Bird has large wheels on the back, where this one has the mediums. They both got that vinyl top. This is like the hot rodded version of this car. So this is a Sweet 16. It opens and everything. This one doesn't stay up, which that's okay. This is well loved, well played with. Whoever owned it, looks like they painted it a couple of times. And you know, they did something that they really enjoyed. And then there was originally a magenta car we figured out, and we took it back, but put that copper paint on there now as a comparison. So again, we have the Hong Kong custom Barracuda, and then we have the Beatnik Bandit, the US Beatnik Bandit. So if you compare all 3 of those, it still looks more like a brownish color than copper to me. Beautiful color. Beautiful color. You don't get me wrong. It looks to me that the original copper Spectra Flame from Mattel, especially on this Cuda, this Barracuda, looks more like a penny, a bright shiny penny, than a brown. This is more of a brown tone. So I'm not sure how we could reproduce this. I'd love to be able to put this color back on some cars. It looks like the US was a little darker than the Hong Kong. So we may have, like I said, we're probably not going to restore this one. What was that other one I did? That Light My Firebird. So that's where we're at with it. You know, just seeing what's out there. We used the two different colors of copper, and neither one of them came close to what the originals were. But I love the color. I love the color, you know, even though it's not coming out the same. So anyway, there's that. Diecast International Builders coming up on the 5th of November, which is next week. We have the Pontiac build, so I got to get those done. Still got to get the subscriber's choice going, so we'll get that going. And for next week, I came up with a plan for it. I just got so I won't keep talking about that. Stayed up too late last week, too many nights, and rested on Sunday. Well, I could have been working on these, but it's fine. It'll be okay. So anyway, got some other things. There's so many cars that I want to do, and it just takes time. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. You know, check out my Patreon. I really appreciate the support there if you can give it to me. If you want a sticker, let me know. Obviously, I'll send one to my patrons and a few close friends, but anybody else, if you want a sticker, just email me at diecastpirate@gmail.com, and we'll figure something out. Okay. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below. Click that like button and ring the bell for notifications. And check me out on Instagram. As always, this is Don the Diecast Pirate, and I'll see you next time.